Hello everyone, I hope you are doing very well. I'm happy to introduce you to Bunny, the new resident of this nursing home. So he's a little rabbit that is gonna bring some compost for the food garden. Also show that everything is connected between animals and plants, and it brings it is relaxing for the residents because they can actually pet him, and he's really lovely with the residents and with me. Before we go around the garden, I'm just gonna give a summary of May. So in May, the conditions were a bit colder than usual. The temperature were between like 50 and 68 degrees Fahrenheit, and we had like between 10 and 20 millimeters of rain every week. We added a guardrail around the garden so the residents cannot fall into the planters. The residents harvested lots of strawberries and raspberries, so they are actually very happy to go around and look for them. All the seedlings have survived. The seedlings that we transplanted outside have survived, so we are very happy. And for June, what we're gonna do, there's gonna be lots of garden snacking, so the residents will be able to come around and eat the strawberries, the blackcurrant, raspberries, gooseberries, sugar peas, coriander, and spinach. We're gonna sow outside basil and beans, and basically there is gonna be less work because nature, now we did all the work with the seedling and planting. Now the nature is gonna do its work with the heat of the summer, so we just have to basically contemplate the vegetables growing and eat them when they are ripe. Also in June, pretty soon, on June 5th, we're gonna do the official inauguration of the garden, so all the neighbors are welcome to come in, and the residents and I will give them a tour of the food garden, and hopefully we can convince them of all the benefits of food gardens. One question that I receive a lot is how much did this project cost? So it's a very good question. I think a food garden should cost near nothing. You don't need to buy anything. You can actually upcycle what's around you and build a food garden. For example, you can upcycle crates to create planters. You can create the soil by using tree leaves and kitchen scraps. You can do some cuttings to multiply, for example, raspberries or strawberries, so you don't need to buy anything. We designed this garden in a very simple way, so there is not much work, and we use lots of berries, which are perennials, so a lot easier than some vegetables that you need to seed every year. And 50% of vegetables that are the easiest and most productive, like for example tomatoes and squash, among others. The third principle we use to not have any cost is to not harvest any fruit and vegetable and not sell any fruit and vegetables, because in food growing, most of the cost is in the harvesting and the sale. So if you cut these two steps, you basically cut all your costs. So you can actually produce some food for free. Basically, we never harvest anything. The residents come in and eat on site whatever they want, and we never sell anything. So we don't have to package anything. We don't have to transport anything. We don't have to pay someone to sell. It just simplifies everything, and it's just magical. Then many people ask me, like, why don't you try to make money out of it? So it's really, the answer is very simple. It's really not the objective here. The objective is just to convince everyone that food gardens have many benefits. So it's not a business, it's a charity organization, and the goal is not to spend money. The goal is to produce free food, basically. It has many advantages, because if you don't depend on money, then your project is a lot more resilient, you have more freedom, you can be more creative, you can find new solutions Another advantage of preserving natural and collective resources is that you create a great project and protect the planet at the same time. Producing food for free is just a dream of, it's just been a dream of mine. I just find it magical that you can actually just create food out of nothing. So here's the quick visit. So you can see how it looks at the end of May, beginning of June. So the strawberries are producing well. Residents are coming every day. The blackberries, no, not the blackberries, the blackcurrant just becoming darker and darker, sweeter and sweeter. So they are not sweet yet, but it's coming. In here, all the blackberries are starting to grow. I added like a cartoon that explains the different benefits of the food garden, and the first shoots are growing. So this should give us lots of blackberries. Just a few, I think, this year, and more of them next year. The artichokes are growing slowly but surely. And in the meantime, we have some flaxseed, really beautiful and bringing lots of pollinators. Strawberries, and in here the blueberries still ripening slowly. So in here we have the zucchinis. Oh, on the right, the tomatoes are getting more and more robust. And in the middle, we have the mix of the zucchinis and corn. So, for example, in here you have like a young zucchini plant, and just behind the little sweet corn. I'm happy they are still alive. Seeing one of the beef tomatoes here. You can see the piece of art that are around the garden. Here's something you can see behind the spinach. You can see a baby zucchini ready to grow. The grapevine are growing well. The cucumber I think have suffered with the conditions, but they are still alive. So it's very good. It's really tiny. So from here you can see all the squash, sweet corn, the cartoon near the blueberries, and on the right you can see the Eiffel Tower for tomatoes. Or in the middle we have a new cool thing. That's Carol Goura, the painter who is helping the project. So she actually made an exclusive piece of art on the topic of the food garden, just put it in the middle of the food garden, and she made it water and UV resistant. So it's actually a piece of art for outside. Oh, there is a gigantic pollinator here. This is cool. It's really big. Yeah, there is a good biodiversity. That's cool. Little scarecrow. We can make something more elaborate soon with the residents, but this was done just quickly to avoid the birds eating all the fruit. And here, all the association between tomatoes, basil, and strawberries. The little pond is doing quite well. And the gooseberries behind are ripening. Sorry for the camera. I cannot really see with the sun. In here we are trying to grow some squash directly on compost. So you can see this is a pile of compost from the kitchen, some tree leaves, and at the bottom of this pile I just seeded some butternut squash so they can send their roots directly in the compost and cover the inside of this raspberry area with squash plants. In here we can see the sugar peas going pretty well. They are very good. The garlic and soy and black soy just between the two lines of garlic. In here we have all the different kind of cherry tomatoes, different colors of cherry tomatoes and basil. So they are, I don't know, maybe 30 centimeters high. Here we have the wild strawberries doing very well. All the security seedlings in case something happens or a resident mistakenly destroy a plant, we can replace it. And in here we can see the mint going well, the coriander, the salicornia. I don't know if it will last long because people are already eating it, even though it's not ready. But the experience is working well. In here we have the grapevine growing on the pergola. So I can show you. It's growing. And at the end of the tour, we have the bunny, the rabbit. So you can see here his weekend residence. So that's his garden and his cabin. He's hiding inside. There you can see. And his main house here. So he can be safe at night. So we have his kitchen here, his living room here, and his bedroom over there. So here it is for the tour. Thank you for all the messages you sent me. I really appreciate your encouragements. I'm very happy with the result. And if anyone is around in Paris on June 5th, you're welcome to come and visit the nursing home and the food garden with the residents. You can see the little cartoon here.